So last week we delved into the shadow side, the dark side of the Force. Sounds all Star Warsy, and yes, it is Star Warsy, totally. What are those areas of yourself that you feel like the only way I'm going to be able to do this or own this or understand this is to do something that we consider like bad or wrong or self-serving or, like all of that. And it's funny, like what, you have to just call it for what it is. Like what would be bad for a woman to do is completely different for what would be bad for a man to do, right? So there's a level of, now bad is so arbitrary, right? So is it truly bad? Is it a way to learn? So when you dive into wisdom, you dive into it all. And it's like you're wanting to be, it's like you want to know yourself, not just be happy. And I think a lot of, as an American, we're miserable, but we have every reason to be happy. We have every reason to be happy. I mean, we got it going on. The trash is picked up. We have more selection of soda than we know what to do with. You know what I mean? Like, it's mind-boggling. And yet, every time we're out, like, buying something or getting another I don't feel right prescription, it's like, I'll make you happy. I'll make you happy. With the premise being, you can't make yourself happy. So, if you play with that dark side, maybe there's a level of, I've got this. And receiving. And that's not, and that creates kind of a confidence. So you don't have to be happy all the time. But when you have that confidence and I've got this, then you can go into this place of, well, what makes me happy? And that's where, if you really want to dive deep, you don't have to. A lot of kids aren't confused by happiness. They're like, I just want to play with a ball. I'm good. They haven't overcomplicated it. But if you really want to dive in deep on that, like the ultimate question, I think, is, who am I? And the ultimate, quest is know thyself. And the ultimate answer is, oh, I am. Right? And I am is, I love myself. I accept myself. I know myself. And, and that can constantly evolve. But to do that, to go down the path of wisdom, you got to go down the path of, Luke, I am your father. Bad Darth Vader impression. Anyway, there's a million of those, so I join a popular pastime of bad Darth Vader impressions. But so yeah, and is it really, what do you do with those parts of you that, you don't want to look at or you don't want to acknowledge, or they were useful, but, oh man, it sucked to go there or to do that or to think that or to be that. And sometimes I can't tell you how many times, for myself and my clients and whatever, we're looking at a particular energy they're struggling with, and it's not even theirs. That's not your, self-harm energy. That's your dad's. That's self-punishment energy. That's his.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That he didn't want to deal with it. Shoop. Shove it off on you. Or whatever, as an example, right? But then at a deeper level, once you kind of like, oh, okay, that part is not me. And you know, as we've talked about before, getting comfortable with these distinctions of me, not me.
Yeah.
And you know, and a lot of people like, oh, fourth chakra, the heart, it's all about love. Well, I think it's about self-awareness. And you know, you've got, you know, endocrine system there, and right behind the heart, you've got big old gland there that's really helping to distinguish immunity. You, not you. You know? Yeah. And so I think that there's a lot to that self-awareness. And in self-awareness, you gain understanding. You gain understanding, you gain compassion, and all these things, and you know, breaking up love into its constituent parts. And I like to think of it. But so now you got all this shadow that you played with, and you know, people do different things with it. They stuff it deep in their bodies, and it comes out as all kinds of weird things, autoimmune diseases and whatever. But, you know, those behavior patterns that are, you know, unkickable, supposedly, or whatever the case it is. You know, but I let's just play with the fact that those energies, those beliefs, those experiences, whatever they were, whether it was you did something quote unquote bad, or something, someone, or you know, whatever did something bad to you, maybe there was really some special growth there, an opportunity there to experience that otherwise might not have happened. And then from there, you know, if you're going along the path of wisdom, you know who you are. And I love to look at, like, you know, reference mythology. I love to reference the world religions and everything. And, you know, and I think a lot of people are familiar with the Garden of Eden story, and, you know, Eve taking a bite of the apple presented by the snake. So here you have this place where it's like, you don't need to do anything, you don't need to think, you're taken care of. Done. Just do what I tell you, and don't touch that tree. Okay? Just don't touch. And so Snake comes along and says, well, are you really happy? At least this is what I think this means. Do you really know who you are? Do you want to find out? I can show you what real happiness is. Well, that's pretty, you know, Cool Ranch blasted Doritos, you know, sounding, right? So, yeah, duh. You take a bite of that. And, you know, at first it seems so silly. They find out they're naked. Of all the things to realize after tapping into wisdom is you're naked. Okay, that seems pretty meaningless, but to me, I see it as not physically naked, but naked is not knowing who you are. And that's okay. I mean, that's not a bad thing. There are plenty of people who go through life and they don't overthink it, and they're fine. And then there's some of us who do overthink it for various reasons. And no wonder. So anyway, let's play around. We're going to use your tools.
Okay.
And don't worry about if you've remembered the tools from class or the week before. It doesn't matter. We're going to just, same as usual, do a little talk through, relax, play, see what comes up. So get relaxed. S'il vous plaît. Onegai shimasu. Por favor. And if you can, close your eyes. Be seated, relaxed. Like to lay on the floor, fabulous. Just pull your knees up. Yeah, get like super comfy. Like get some pillow action going on.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So, and you pull your knees up a little bit. And the reason why I think you should pull your knees up is it supports your lower back and it keeps you from falling asleep. I think the best sleep medicine is self-awareness. Boy, that shit'll knock you out. Boom. Anywho, so every time self-awareness. Whoa. Okay. So from this place, say hello to yourself, hello to your body, and imagine you're grounded from the base of your spine and every cell with this wonderful root grounding cord goes all the way to the center of our lovely iron and nickel core planet, lovely Earth, supporting us is what this cord is doing, connecting us is what it's doing, affirming our relationship, our natural connection, our support. And at the same time, just like trees and plants do, you're receiving nourishment from the earth. Earth energy makes up a good constituency of yourself, doesn't it? Embrace it. Let this earth energy come in, and you can notice whatever color it comes in for you as. And know that that color is just right for you in just this moment. And from this place, taking a deep breath, relaxing all the way down to the very base of your belly. Allow yourself your connection to source to enhance, to strengthen, to start. Let yourself feel that you are part of the whole. You are not alone. You are supposed to be taking up space. You belong. Now, remember, the universe is an open bar. So let whatever energy you need at this moment, any energy, come flowing in and see it as a color. Let your earth energy and your energy from source and the universe just mix in your space. And it could be a combination of colors. And the combinations these colors make could not necessarily make sense. Blue and yellow could make purple. It's all good. This is definitely not an activity for your mind. That's middle management. Very important, but get it out of the way. We're playing with your partnership, body and soul. Now, from this place, being connected, being supported, being a part of the whole, receiving what you need in this moment, say hello to the part of you that might be the shadow side, those pieces and places in you that you haven't felt you could own yet, or you couldn't fully own, or maybe you couldn't even acknowledge at all. It's all good. So one thing that is super validating to your body and to yourself is to touch yourself. So go ahead and notice where in your body one of those places, those unowned places is. And go ahead and bring a hand or both to that place. As soon as you touch yourself, you are validating yourself. And you're validating the existence of these other experiences, these other beliefs that had to be locked away up in the attic, shoved down under the basement, or wherever they had to be put. You'd be surprised how many beliefs I help people pull out of their butts because they are deep-seated. Yeah, I'm joking, but I'm serious. So, from this place of acknowledging that there's something in there that has been unacknowledged, unloved, unaccepted, just say hello and say, hey, you're there. You exist. You count. You matter. And whatever you are, I accept you. So we're playing here. This is kindergarten. We're picking up the crayons and just putting them to paper. And we're playing with acceptance and acknowledgement. So that part, that energy in you that has gone down the path of Anakin Skywalker, or whatever.
It's perfect for me.
Yeah. Give yourself a moment to notice, what does it feel like? What color or colors it might be. And if you really want to play some more, start to talk to it. Say hi. And in my opinion, give it a hug. Because it's been pretty lonely for a long time. And when you do that, you open it up a space for a conversation, for learning, for possibility, for evolution, or validation even further. This could be some new superpower to add to your tool chest. Who knows? But just say hello to it and find out what it has to say to you, or what it feels like. What's going on in here? And notice what it has to show you. tingles. Now, shaking, burping, crying, yawning, all kinds of things are great ways to move energy. And the more that you engage with this energy, the more that it can be something that is a place of power rather than a place of weakness or shame or regret or any of those other emotions that are totally valid but can hold us back from feeling whole and complete and happy and centered. A weeble wobble that can't wobble is just a stone. It's not fun. Can't play. So give this energy room to move, room to change, room to evolve, and room to help you take your next step with it or with whatever it is meant to teach you or become. Now, from this place, take a nice, big, deep breath. Give that energy that's been stuffed in the shadows another hello or a hug, maybe even a kiss, and thank it. Now, how do you thank something? Well, you hold gratitude. Now, you don't give gratitude, you don't take gratitude, you just let yourself be gratitude for a moment. Imagine a light bulb coming on. Now, from this place, take a last deep breath. When you're ready, open your eyes. Playing with shadow side. No wars needed. How convenient was that? How are you doing?
Good.
Awesome. So, anything that you noticed about your shadow side?
I definitely feel like it was really hard to get in touch with, and it kind of changed through, like, at different points. And like at first, I kind of saw my shadow side as like this kind of goth version of myself. And then it went like deeper into my little kid self, and it
nice.
And I went to a Catholic school, so I just saw myself in my uniform. It's just like what I felt like. I just wanted to like give myself energy, just like allow yourself to be, and who do you want to be, and not. And I guess what I felt is that part of myself just being shut down, where I was shut down by others, and trying to give that back and saying you could be you. And then I also had this kind of this feeling of like that being in touch with nature is a big part of who I am. And when I was a little kid, I moved from being in a more like rural place to being in San Francisco.
Got it.
So I think that part, there was a little bit of loss of purpose. And I think with that, because I never like rediscover that part. Or as a little kid, I feel like I've done it more as an adult, but kind of that connection was like felt lost at that age, which it was intense. But it's hard to get into those like darker feelings. Like I feel glimpses of anger.
Yeah.
I feel glimpses of sadness. Like, but it's hard. It's hard to. I felt like feelings of like sarcasm and that part of like my shadow self, which those are like the sarcasm is felt like there's power in that.
Right, of course.
And so just like it's like I touched on a little different things, but I couldn't like hold on to it for very long.
Right. Well, I mean, that, first off, that sounds freaking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, wow, what an experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
And secondly, just to the whole, like, I felt like I couldn't touch it, hold on to it very long. Let me tell you, when information is coming up spiritually, it moves like lightning fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've always, I mean, it just moves so freaking fast. The ancient Maya had one of their glyphs for communicating with spirit was a hand trying to hold a fish.
Mm-hmm.
It is. It's so poof, right? Mm-hmm. And so I just want to acknowledge like how like, but that also tells you how quickly things can change once you are in that space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't care if it's PTSD. I don't care what, you know, what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, this stuff can change.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's fascinating. And for me, you know, I've always had the scientific mind, and I'm trying to drag everything out, slow it down so then I can record it, which obviously is not bode well for your own happiness. It's like, yeah, you can know a lot, or you can just skip to having a good time. Yeah. So just to share for myself, it was so funny. I mean, I have looked at some not too pleasant energy, I have to say, in my time. And this was quite unexpected. But I had turned my own happiness into a shadow. Like, nope, can't have that. I got work to do. And, you know, it's a whole spiritual development project. And what was interesting is that was such a bad thing, my own happiness. And I mean, it completely matches my childhood to a T. You know, if I figured out something to do to make myself happy, or I figured out how to get something I needed, or whatever, because I'm kind of left to my own devices, boy, did I catch up. I can't. So it was like, you're going to make yourself happy? How dare you? And it wasn't like, no, that's my job to make you happy. No, it was just like, you know. So the programming and the experience matches up with that. But at a deeper level, you know, if we go with the adage that maybe you pick your parents, you really have free will. So, you know, where was it that I couldn't be in a place to receive happiness, and so I got served the other, so I would stay on course. Because if you're happy, what are you going to do? You're going to, I'm good. You know, who wants to unravel the secrets of the universe? I'm good. Yeah. So what came of that for me was like being shown scenes of, remember, these are the kinds of things that you care about. These are the kinds of things that make you happy. And a nice hug with that part of myself.
Mhm.
So, you know, like, it's hilarious what's buried in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, but it's there.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Like, you just had shadow self work that just sounded very empowering.
Mhm.
And I had something like, what are we going to see? Killing puppies. No, no, it was just like, it's not okay for me to be happy, So it's not necessarily always something awful.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I really liked what you had to say about like, it's okay to see what does come up that's awful. And it's like, that's a great way to get to know yourself. And that's I just like that. It's permission.
Yes.
And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed just to have that conversation, to give myself permission to stop and see that side of myself and not create a story to push it away, or because that's how I feel like that gets really confusing, and that's how I take myself away from myself.
Yeah.
By trying to justify a behavior that I don't think is a good behavior or whatever it might be. So that felt really good, and that felt empowering to be okay with. Hey, that's part of who I am.
Hey. All right. Permission. That is like one of the biggest killers for most people is permission. And particularly women. We have to go and we have to do the job that we want, that we're not being paid for, then go ask for, can I get the title that goes along with the job that we're doing? And I don't know, can I have the raise that goes on? No, that's okay. That's fine. Just give me the title. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever. So, and I think that goes along with a lot of people. Obviously, not just women. It's kids. It's old people. Everybody. There's a certain level of permission, and I mean, there are a few people that are overly like everything's permission, and aren't they festive? But I think most of us are Hufflepuffs, Ravenclaws. So we're little Harry Potter reference. So most of us are struggling with permission at some level. A lot of the people that work with me as that I have as private clients, just by sitting down, boom, permission. And so it is huge. It is awesome. Well, we're gonna have to start to wrap things up.
Okay.
So, what obviously we delved into the shadow side, which was super cool. But we're gonna just stick a toe in trust.
Okay.
And let's see how we're doing on time. Yes, and we can kind of wrap up. But I want you just to say hello to trust for a second. Like, quick little close your eyes. Like, maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's a place in your body, maybe it's a color, or all of the above. But just say hello to trusting yourself and to trusting source, and that you can trust. This doesn't mean that you're like wide-eyed innocent with everybody. Means that you trust to know what's right for you and what's not right for you, so you can navigate. This isn't about believing everything. This is about trusting what's right for you, and that the universe has got your back on that. Just feel that trust for a moment. Let that trust settle in. And that's when I play with trust. It's interesting how, you know, they say the eyes are the windows to the soul. Literally, it's like doorways in my eyes will start to open up, so I can let people see me, see into me, and see my light. Where before I would just throw up kind of like energetic mirrors, so people kind of saw either themselves, which is always festive.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So get a color for trust. And remember, this is just at this moment right now. And if trust had a perfume, a smell, what would it be? So from here, go ahead, take a big deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Give yourself a nice little stretch up. Oh, bend over and touch your toes. Hello, all of me. And this completes
Nice.
our adventure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Cool. I am going to